Hey everybody, Cheryl Powers here, CEO of Align Strategic and the creator of Guaranteed Sales Hire and Breakthrough Performance Academy. So today I want to talk about focusing on impact rather than perfection. It's been big lately as I've been working with clients, and we had a team meeting today with a client because we're working on implementing a new online portal for them for all of their materials, for all of their training materials, for all of their onboarding materials, for all of their HR documents, a place where employees can log in and get access to everything that they need, and that their managers can see that they have what they need. They can be tested all the way through their training process, and their managers can know that they're not only taking the information and learning the information, but we can also test them on that information. The managers can test them. Hi, Jody. Good to see you. So what we want to do is we want to focus on impact rather than perfection. And that's what came up in this conversation. The conversation was, gosh, this is so overwhelming and we don't really know where to get started. And we're so comfortable with all of these manuals we have, even though they're cumbersome, and we don't really want to keep going the way that we're going, and we've got to continue to add to them. And frankly, we don't even keep them on site. Many of them, they are stored at our printing location, and then they're sent to us when a new employee onboards or when we need new training materials. So it's a very cumbersome process, but they've gotten very stuck in the status quo. And it's easy to do that, isn't it? Right? We get kind of comfortable with where we're at, and we think, well, gosh, isn't it really good enough? And maybe it is, but in their case, as we sat down and we looked at it and we began to roadmap what the possibilities are for them and for their training materials, for their onboarding materials, how much less work it would be for their managers and for their HR team, how much more robust the system would be, and how transparent it would be that not only did an employee have the material, they went through the material, they actually understood it. We're setting benchmarks and milestones for where people should be and what they should know, and developing assessments so that as they go through the materials, they understand it. There are places where they can download things if they need to for their own files. There'll be a place so that the CEO can log in and the employees can log in and the managers can log in, and everything's right there and transparent. And so as we worked through this and had this conversation, everybody just kind of took a deep breath, and they said, you know what? You're right. It took us a long time to get to where we are. It took us a long time to get this material to the place that it is today. It started with one document. It started with one department, and now it's all of these documents and all of these manuals and all of this training information. And they don't have any way of testing people now, right? They do role plays and they do those kinds of things, which is great. But they're really looking to make sure that their employees have impact. There was another piece that was really important to them too, and that was from an insurance and legal standpoint. From the HR side, they've got people who drive vehicles, and they didn't have any really good way of tracking the information that was needed. That employee has to actually sign off on that they read it, not that they only read it, but that they understood it. So now we're going to put an assessment behind that. So the employee takes the test, takes the course first, watches all of the videos for that course, reads all of the material for that course, and then gets assessed as they go through it. So it's a brilliant way for them to know what impact they're really having. And so that's what the focus is. The focus is on impact. And we're going to start with one program. It will be done in a few weeks, and we're going to move to the next program, and that will be done in a few weeks later, and then we're going to move to the next and the next. And so all of the managers came together and they said, okay, here's the order that makes sense because this folds into this, and this needs to be done before this. And it was a very exciting kind of time and opportunity. They moved from that place of absolute panic of, oh my goodness, are we really going to take this whole thing apart? Oh my goodness, are we really going to change this? Yeah, sometimes it's important that we push against the status quo. Sometimes it's important that we challenge. Is it good enough? Is it right enough? Could we do better? And when it's time to say yes to that, let's move forward and let's say yes to that. Let's challenge our own need for staying still. I'm doing it right now. This is my second Facebook Live in 2 days, okay? So I want you to know I'm challenging my own status quo. I love to hide behind my PowerPoint slides. I love to do my in-person talks, and I love to be up on stage or up in front of a room. But when it comes to putting me in front of a camera, not so much. But look, here we are. We're challenging the status quo. It's time to stop focusing on being perfect and focus instead on making an impact. So I hope that you will tell me, what are the things that you're working on now? Where are the places that you get stuck? How are you moving through that? What are the things that are challenging you from the standpoint of feeling like you need to be perfect, feeling like you need to get it right? I've been having a lot of these conversations, not just at work, but also in my personal lives, right? Sometimes we just feel really challenged by perfection, right? It's really hard to know that, oh gosh, is my hair right? Does it look right? Am I coming across all right? I don't need to worry about that. You don't need to worry about that. Don't worry about it's going to be messy, right? It's going to be messy. Am I going to mess up sometimes? Absolutely. Is my hair going to be a little off sometimes? Absolutely. That project that we're working on for the client, is it going to get a little messy? Absolutely. There are going to be things that come up that the client hadn't thought about. There are going to be documents that they haven't considered yet. There are going to be new opportunities for them to add new content that they don't even know exists yet. And that's okay. That's really okay. We'll deal with it when it comes up. There's no need to be perfect. There's no need to have a magic 8-ball. There's no need to have a crystal ball and know what the answers are. It's okay, right? We're safe and everything's okay, and there's no need to be perfect. What we want to be is impactful. What we want to be is helpful. What we want to be is authentic. And if you can do that in your world, I want to support you 100%. So I want to say thanks for watching. I'm going to continue to do these and challenge myself around having more impact and worrying less about being perfect. And who knows, maybe one day these will actually be fun for me. I was talking to somebody, another client and very good friend of mine yesterday, who said, put me in front of a camera any day, I'm happy. But, the work that you do, Cheryl, that's harder for me. So, well, we're a good team then, because everybody gets to carry their share of the load. Everybody gets to put out there what their gifts are and share your genius with the world. So I hope you will do that too. I hope you will focus less on being perfect and more on being impactful. And if you happen to like this, if this resonates with you, give it a thumbs up, give it a share. Check us out on the other channels that we're on. Take a look at some of the content that we have on our Facebook page. And I hope that we'll get a chance to talk live together someday, maybe on one of our programs, maybe one of our webinars, or maybe on a phone call. All right, I look forward to connecting with you, and hope you have a great week. Take care.